Well, good morning once again. Good morning to you and yours. And I want to say happy Monday to you. I want to say good morning to all and peaceful rest to more. This is Monday Mental Real Estate with yours truly, Dr. Michael Freed, and I'm back here in the seat once again to talk about some of the things that seem to matter more and more every single day. Today is no different because we get a chance to communicate and talk about the things in life that seem to matter more and more every single day. So before I even get started, I want to ask you the question, how was your weekend? Did you have a great weekend? Did you spend time with somebody that loved you? And did you spend time with somebody that you got an opportunity to love back? It's a great day and a great opportunity when we get a chance to understand that every single day we create more, not just for ourselves, but we create more for others. And what we do every single day matters. Why does it matter? Because it's mental real estate. It's the perspective of your thought and understanding. Every day that I get an opportunity to do something different, I won't waste the opportunity. But today is no different because it's Monday Mental Real Estate. And now that we got past the business of asking how was your weekend and how you're doing, let me just share something with you. Because Monday Mental Real Estate was created for you. Monday Mental Real Estate was created to help you understand the positive and negative contributors to your mindset. And what does that mean for you? Absolutely everything. And today is no different as we move into this great day of mental real estate. So today, let me get to the business because we're talking about life applications. And oh my goodness, you know how life applications can be, right? Life applications can be so meaningful, but at the same time, so educational. So I'm reminded in this life application of those times when you knew somebody that knows somebody. Let me say that again. When you knew somebody that knows somebody, or when you know somebody that knows somebody. Now, what am I talking about, Dr. Freeland? It's Monday Mental Real Estate. That's what I'm talking about. But listen to me when I say this. Is that to know somebody that knows somebody, you be in the atmosphere a lot of times and you see people moving in the way that they move. You see people connecting the way that they connect. And I take a lot of time sometimes and I sit back and I watch when I walk through the grocery store. And I watch when I'm going through my neighborhood and I see some of the elders, some of the later couples that have been married for years, have raised families, have grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Isn't it something how you sit back and you watch how they interact with each other? And it's something like I just said, to know somebody that knows somebody. Because when you know somebody, it's something how the interest of that peaks when they know everything that you're going to do. Isn't it something how relationships and marriages operate when two people have been together for so long? And it's funny because the length of stay, it really determines a lot of how you guys move and how you guys operate. But I love it because when you get a chance, it's funny because if you sit back and you watch twins, if you've ever seen a set of twins operate, you sit back and watch them and you notice they seem to know so much about one another without saying a word. Isn't it something how they can call out how each other think, or they can tell how each other feels based off of the fact that they even have the relationship of being twins? But it's crazy to me when you see people, because my life experiences have taught me things. When I was in a lengthy relationship some years back, it's something how when you get ready to walk out the door and you say, oh my God, and then you hear your spouse say, what's going on? What are you looking for? You say, I'm trying to find my keys. They say, over there on the table. I can't find my wallet. It's in the bedroom over there on the nightstand. Isn't there something how people seem to think for one another? And it's something because, it can be so helpful to be with somebody that actually understands you and actually understands how to explain you to you. It's funny, like I said, to know somebody that knows somebody. Have you ever been with somebody in that place in your life where you actually know that person? Now, I'm not talking about just saying, tell me what your favorites are. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about to know somebody means sometimes it digs deep. Sometimes it gets into the depths for you to know and understand that the person I'm talking to right now may or may not be well, may or may not need my assistance, may or may not need a word of encouragement. But you know that you know that person. And it's something because, when I talk about what it is that we know, because this is Monday Mental Real Estate, let's talk about something for a second. What about the things that we may not know? What about the things that we may believe? Now, here's the thing. And because just as much as we can tell that person that we love and that we adore, how much we can really care for them, and not only how much we care for them, but how much we really know about them, because we pay attention a lot of times and we can tell if they're not doing well. We know if they need something. We can say, listen, I need you to take care of this today because I know that this is going to happen. And then guess what? The other side of that is what happens when people think. Now here it is, when people think, I said, because we're talking mental real estate now, when people think that they actually know what you're thinking, but they don't. When people know what you're going to say, but they don't. Now here it is. Now I remember those days of growing up, and we used to have a lot of fights growing up in my neighborhood, not just in the neighborhood, but in the schools. But you know what? One of the things was that really started the fights is somebody else opening their mouth about something you didn't say. Y'all remember that? And you used to say what? Don't put words in my mouth. You remember those? That saying is very relevant today. Don't put words into my mouth. In other words, if I didn't say it and I didn't speak it, does it really exist? But it's something how the mentality of others believe that they know what somebody else is thinking, because just as we want to talk about other people, we also want to make sure that we recognize that there is a thought pattern that we have that helps us to try to put things together. It's funny because it's like, if I don't explain it to you, how are you ever going to know? But a lot of times when we don't receive the response that we're looking for based off of information, we a lot of times do what? We fill in, or we have a tentative opportunity to what? Fill in the blanks. Let me say that again, because this is highly important, because a lot of times when we speak to people, when we deal with people on certain levels of their life or certain levels of your life, it's something how when we're talking in dialogue, when we don't receive what we need, and sometimes we feel like we need to what? Fill in the blanks. Now, those blanks are the things that get people in trouble, because a lot of times we misunderstand. And you know what? Let me dare to say, there's a lot of times people don't even know you're filling in the blanks. Now, what does that mean? Now, have you ever spoken with someone and said to them, hey, listen, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't see you yesterday. I was wondering if you was okay. And the first thing out of their mouth is that they'll say, well, I didn't think that you was paying attention, or I didn't think that it mattered. I would have tried to do something, but I didn't think that it was important enough. This is the part that I'm talking about, your mental real estate, because a lot of times it's not what you say that fills in the blanks. It's how you respond that fills in the blanks. You don't have to say a whole lot to help people understand that you're moving differently based off of the fact that you're not standing still. It's the fact that, listen, I was looking for you. There are people that care for you that are looking for you. That's funny, because as I was talking about mental real estate some time ago, talking about jobs and how you can get this job, you know what? How a lot of times we talk ourselves out of an opportunity because we fill in the blanks. But today's Monday Mental Real Estate, so I gotta give it to you, because I wanted to know, when it comes to your mentality, is there a weakness to the mindset? Is there a weakest area of your mind when it comes to what we're talking about, your mental real estate? Now check this out. We're talking about cognitive behaviors. That's funny, because what cognitive behavior is the weakest part of the mind? Now, what am I going to say to you today? Here it is. I'm just going to go ahead and give this to you, and I'm going to wrap this thing up, because I don't want to keep you all day, but I'm good with it. Check this out. There is no. Now here it is. I asked the question, what cognitive behavior is the weakest part of your mindset? And I know a lot of us, it's funny because we talk every day about these things, but do we really know and understand? But check this out. There is no single cognitive behavior considered the weakest of the mind, as cognitive strength is highly dependent on an individual, their experiences, and the specific context. However, in psychology and cognitive behavior therapy, the term weakest often refers to cognitive distortions. Did you hear that? Cognitive distortions, bias, and irrational thought patterns that are unhelpful and can lead to negative emotions and poor decision making. I wonder if that describes anybody out there. Let's keep going, shall we? Among these helpful patterns, two distortions are frequently Now, y'all know if I say it 3 times, I'm going somewhere. Stay with me. Are frequently cited for their detrimental and limiting effects. Check this out. All or nothing thinking. This is number 1. I said that there were 2 distortions. All or nothing thinking, also known as black and white thinking. This cognitive distortion involves seeing everything in absolute terms with no middle ground or gray area. Listen to this, y'all. The examples: a person on a diet eats 1 cookie and believes their whole effort is a failure, so they give up. I told you I was going to walk down your street. Some of y'all been understanding, like, I've been on a diet. I'm trying to get it right. I got to eat right every single day. And because you took that cookie, you believe the whole effort is a failure and you quit. I'm done. Forget it. This ain't going to work. How many times have you been there? Now let's check this out. An employee makes a minor mistake on a project and decides that they are a total failure at their job. And as funny as cliche as that sounds, this is a very real thing. These are very real movements when we're talking about that black and white area. No middle or gray. It's either all or it's nothing. But where does that apply to your life? Let's keep going. Because now, as I got done, this is, now, why is this considered weak? Listen to this. This rigid and absolute view of the world is fragile. It makes it impossible to tolerate imperfections. It makes it impossible to tolerate imperfections. One more time. It makes it impossible to tolerate imperfections, learn from mistakes, or appreciate partial success. It can quickly lead to feelings of hopelessness and cause a person to give up entirely. Woo! I'm talking about cognitive behaviors, this potential of the weakest parts of the mind. This is one of them right here. Number 2, let me get to it. Mind reading. Let me do that. Mind reading. Y'all better listen up. I'm teaching you something today. Because listen, when we're talking about, I'm talking about, these were only 2 that were pulled out of everything that they said were the potentials of the weakest areas of the mindset. Mind reading. This distortion involves assuming you know what another person is thinking without having any evidence. I'm going to throw these glasses out the window. Because listen, how many times have you done or been the victim of that type of situation where somebody assumes they know what you're thinking and you ain't said a word? You ain't told them nothing. They got no evidence of what they're talking about, but because they believe it mentally, they're convinced. Now, how do you change a mind that is already made up? That's the question of the day. Let's keep it going. Now, the examples. My friend didn't text me back, so they must be mad at me. Or my boss asked for an update on the project. She must think I'm doing a bad job. Now, why is this considered weak? Check it out, guys. Mind reading relies on baseless assumptions rather than factual information. This often leads to unnecessary anxiety, mistrust, and conflict in relationships. It also keeps you from seeking clarification through open communication. Isn't it something how, let me just pause for a second. Isn't it something how people can go through things in their life and know that it's just areas where we are attacking, not necessarily knowing, but because we cast an assumption on what people believe or what we think is going on with that person, you shut the whole conversation down. I shut the whole conversation down. All because I got it figured out. You ain't got to tell me nothing. I'm going to say what I say, and this is what I know about you. And the whole time I'm talking, my mind is turning. The whole time I'm talking, you ain't saying a word. The whole time that I'm talking, I got it all figured out. But guess what? I don't have any evidence based off of my theory. So am I correct in my assumption to tell you what it is that is really killing me, but it's also hurting you? Because when it comes to the weakest areas of the mind, mind reading is one of those things that can really damage any relationship. Let me say this again. Now let's move on. The weakest link hypothesis. Here we go, y'all. In the context of understanding vulnerability to mental health conditions like depression, some research have proposed a weakest link hypothesis. Here we go. This hypothesis suggests that a person's most maladaptive score on a set of cognitive vulnerability measures is the best predictor of their risk for depression. Wow. This perspective supports the idea that the weakest cognitive behavior is not the same for everyone. Let me say that again. This perspective supports the idea that the weakest cognitive behavior is not the same for everyone, but is instead the most dysfunctional thinking pattern in a person's individual mental process. Woo! That's a lot to take in a few minutes, isn't it? But I love to give it because I've lived it. I love to give it because I used to be on that side. I used to think a lot of times when it comes to the perspective of thought, how I thought I had it figured out. But let me tell you and remind people of some things. History doesn't always precede itself. Sometimes history is the best teacher. Sometimes history is an area that does so much more to help us understand what tomorrow is. If everything that we did today and tomorrow was predicated off what we did yesterday, what are you living for? It's funny because a lot of times what I said before, the best thing is to know somebody that knows somebody. And when you get an opportunity to know somebody, this is a special place. Now, why do I call it a special place? Because everybody doesn't allow people to know them. I'm just being 100 with you. Everybody doesn't allow people to really know them. Now, why is that? Because a lot of times in knowing someone makes them vulnerable. And knowing someone means they may be unprotected around you. Because there are certain levels of life and information that we share with one another that is very, very hurtful. Not only hurtful, but damaging. And when it's damaging, guess what happens? I cannot communicate with you. I've never seen anybody run outside and lay on the tracks and just knowingly stand in front of a train. I've never seen anybody, witnessed anybody go out and just willingly just stand in front of a moving vehicle. I've never seen anybody jump off of a cliff. So when it comes to the information that we have and the things that we share and the things that we know about people, who are we not to protect the most sacred things about the people that we love? When I tell you it's good to know somebody that knows somebody, these are real life applications. Because when you know somebody that knows you, it's a sense of security. When you know somebody that knows you, it's a sense of entitlement. When you know somebody that knows you, it's a sense of obligation. That you have a confidence in somebody that you never had before. And it builds a connection. And those that are here that have a husband or a wife, you understand. It builds a connection between two people. But let me dare say, you will not get this overnight. You will not be able to just open your mouth and tell your baby or your husband or your wife that, listen, I know what you got going on and let me take care of it. Before she says a word, babe, I'm taking your car down and get an oil change today. Before she says a word, babe, I've already paid the mortgage. Don't worry about it. I know you can put your check back in your pocketbook. Before she says anything, babe, I've already made dinner arrangements, so I've already got dinner on the stove. Just go in there and get yourself together. Sit back and relax. I got you. Isn't it a good feeling to know somebody that knows somebody? Because it's a good thing because, oh my God. But the same breath that I'm telling you it's so good, it's so damaging. It's so hurtful. There's nothing worse than accusing somebody of something they didn't do. There's nothing worse of taking away from somebody that they didn't give, or they never even presented. There's nothing worse than that. So at the same time, let me tell you, love on each other. What are you wasting time when you assume? It's a hard thing. But if you just ask, there's a difference from an assumption and the asking. If it's merely just asking a question, that can be the difference right there. But let me be honest with you. A lot of times asking the question is the very, very hardest thing. Because they want to know so bad what it is that's bothering you. They want to know so bad, but a lot of times they're scared to cross the line because It's a sense of knowing. And knowing means that you have to trust me. And I feel entitled if you trust me. I feel obligated if you trust me to protect your information. So as you move forward and you move through this day today, let me help you. Is that mental real estate is here. Not only is it here, it ain't going nowhere. I said it. Listen to me many times over. Mental real estate belongs to you. And it will outlive me long after my days. Mental real estate will be all around this world. And I'm not just saying this. I see life-based evidence. And I also know that the mentality that we use every single day is something that's going to connect you to the people that love you more, that help and appreciate you more. So continue to grow so we can go, because this thing is not done. We're just getting started. We're keeping the wheels turning. So I want to say God bless you all. Thank you for taking your time and learning and understanding more about mental real estate today, because today is more powerful than it has ever been as we stand with one another. Because listen, friendships are built on words. Relationships are built on words. Life is built on words. Commitment is built on words. Honesty is built on words. Obligations are built on words. But at the same time, it's those same words that can destroy you if they're not used in the proper context. So learn what you say what you learn. Learn what you say what you learn. So this world can be a better place with you, more so than without you. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Dr. Michael Freeland. We did it. Another Monday Mental Real Estate in the books. Let's keep this thing going. God bless you all, and thank you for taking your time for Monday Mental Real Estate. It's too important for us to look over. It's too important for us to throw it out the window. It's too important. Just because it doesn't exist in your life or this moment right now doesn't mean in 5 minutes it's not at your front door. Stay tuned. Stay intact. Keep your mentality in the perspective that it needs, because somebody needs everything that you got. God bless you all. Let me shout some people out. Dorian Branch, my brother, good to see you. Yes, sir. Good to see you. Yes, Javon Peppers, I'll see you. Thank you so much. Good friend. I appreciate you so much. My cousin, Nathan K. What's going on, family? Big boy. That's my guy right there. All the way in Florida doing your thing. I love you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support. Jenna Thompson, mother, how you doing? I see you. All right now. Here, who else we got out here? I see Ronnie Tisdale. What's going on? God bless you. Thank you for tuning in Monday Mental Real Estate. I always appreciate your love and support. Let's keep this thing going. Who else have I missed? Yolanda Shahi. Woo, woo, woo. Yolanda Shahi. Y'all know, let me tell y'all something, man. If you ever want to see the face of commitment, dedication, and understanding, Yolanda Shahi right there. I'm not playing with y'all. This lady has followed me from the first day, from day one, through every conference, through every travel arrangements, and I mean a good friend. Through everything, she has followed mental real estate. Why? Because I got an understanding to believe that it matters to her. Not only does it matter to her, it matters to everybody she's connected to. She's not just doing this thing just because. This is what people have some type of commitment for. And thank you so much, Yolanda Shaheed, for showing your level of commitment for mental real estate. Not just Mondays, but anything that has to do with it. God bless you. And last but not least, let me say, if I don't see you on here, if there's no comment, I don't know if you're on or not. Charge it to the head, not the heart. Last but not least, my life's blood, my mother, my mama. Mama, I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you so much for carrying your son when he couldn't carry himself. I couldn't do it without you. Mama, I couldn't do it without you. Mama, I couldn't do it without you. I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to say that because it means a lot to give those flowers every single time. And I gotta keep doing it. So God bless you all. Have yourself a great day and a safe week. And we'll talk again soon, okay? Take care, guys. We did it again. God bless you. Bye-bye.